The heart is the main motor of our body, which works non-stop, providing blood and oxygen to all organs and tissues. Every day, it shrinks about 100,000 times, pumping up to 7,000 liters of blood. However, such intensive work requires our attention and care, especially regarding lifestyle and nutrition. According to the World Health Organization, more than 17 million people die from cardiovascular diseases each year, accounting for 31% of all deaths worldwide. The main causes of these diseases are poor nutrition, lack of physical activity, and chronic stress. Heart problems often arise due to the fact that our diet is dominated by foods that harm blood vessels, increase cholesterol levels, and cause inflammation. Scientific studies confirm that nutrition has a direct effect on heart health. For example, data published in the Lancet magazine shows that more than 50% of all cardiovascular diseases are associated with poor nutrition. Knowing which foods pose the greatest threat to the cardiovascular system helps you make informed food choices. Trans fats. Trans fats are artificially created fats that are found in margarine, fast food, ready-made pastries, cookies, muffins, croissants, and semi-finished products. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that regular consumption of trans fats increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases by 34% and the risk of death from these diseases by 28%. Trans fats contribute to the development of atherosclerosis by increasing the level of bad cholesterol and lowering the good one. Sugary drinks and excess sugar. Carbonated drinks, packaged juices, and desserts contain large amounts of sugar, which causes spikes in blood glucose levels. This increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, obesity, and hypertension, factors directly related to heart disease. A study by the American Heart Association found that daily consumption of more than 500 milliliters of sugary drinks increases the risk of a heart attack by 20%. Processed meat. Sausages, bacon, and similar products contain saturated fats, salt, and preservatives. According to a study published in Circulation, regular consumption of 50 grams of processed meat per day increases the risk of coronary heart disease by 42%. Nitrates and nitrites added to increase shelf life, increase oxidative stress and inflammatory processes in the body. Salt in large quantities. Excessive salt intake increases blood pressure, putting additional strain on the heart and blood vessels. According to a study conducted at the University of California, reducing salt intake by 1 gram per day can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by 10%. The main sources of salt are semi-finished products, canned food, and ready-made sauces. Fried food. Foods cooked deep-fried or in a frying pan with plenty of oil contain trans fats and carcinogens. An experiment by the University of Iowa showed that regular consumption of fried foods increases the risk of heart failure by 25%. Fried potatoes and chips are especially dangerous because of their high saturated fat content. Refined carbohydrates. White bread, pasta made from refined flour, sweets, and other foods with a high glycemic index cause a sharp increase in blood sugar levels. This leads to insulin spikes, metabolic syndrome, and obesity. A study published in the journal JAMA confirms that a diet high in refined carbohydrates increases the risk of cardiovascular disease by 28%. Alcohol in large quantities. Excessive alcohol consumption increases blood pressure, causes arrhythmias, and overloads the heart. The Framingham Heart Study found that alcohol abuse increases the risk of heart failure by 40%. Alcohol also contributes to the accumulation of fat in the liver, which worsens the overall metabolism and vascular condition. Foods high in saturated fat. These products include butter, fatty dairy products, lard, and fatty meats. They increase the level of bad cholesterol, contributing to the formation of cholesterol plaques. Research from the National Institutes of Health confirms that replacing saturated fats with healthy fats from nuts and fish reduces the risk of heart disease by 30%. Caffeine in excessive doses. Although moderate coffee consumption can be beneficial, excess caffeine can cause arrhythmias and increase blood pressure. Studies show that consuming more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day increases the burden on the cardiovascular system, especially in people with hypertension. Semi-finished products and finished products. Most processed foods, including frozen meals, instant soups, and snacks, contain hidden salts, trans fats, and chemical additives. These components increase inflammation in the body, increasing the risk of hypertension and atherosclerosis. How to protect your heart? To reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases, try to minimize the consumption of these foods. Instead, include more fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, healthy fats, such as nuts, avocados and olive oil, and low-fat proteins, fish, poultry, in your diet. It has been proven that following a diet similar to the Mediterranean reduces the risk of cardiovascular diseases by 30%. Remember, your health is in your hands.